His Excellency the Mayor, with the Municipality of Muscat, have introduced a process to develop its public spaces. Snøhetta has been invited to propose solutions on 4 different locations around Muscat. Our intention is to address the relationships between architectural quality, landscape, and historical identity for sustainable future developments of the city of Muscat. Snøhetta's architectural approach is site-specific, where every project is new in the sense that the context and situation is different and therefore needs an individual solution. The character of the landscape in Muscat, its history and its people, makes it particularly interesting for Snøhetta to take part in the future development of Muscat's new urban identity. The fish market is at the heart of Mutra and is essential not only for the continuation of historical trading traditions, but also for the needs of the growing tourism industry. The radial shape of Mutra's characteristic bay shows a clear relationship between the city, the mountains, and the waterfront. This radial nature of the bay is emphasized in the form of the new fish market, which references the former waterfront and the continuation of the corniche. This is further emphasized in the curved wall that defines the northern spine of the new fish market in Mutra. The wall will be constructed as a rammed earth wall structure, sustainable, traditional, and refined. The new market enhances the public setting by forming a dynamic, shaded canopy, organizing the spaces beneath both visually and environmentally. The canopy's form is derived from the sinuous flow of Arabic calligraphy. The canopy is a playful movement of light and shadow built from aluminum fins, providing shade and natural ventilation with an ephemeral appearance. The new fish market will provide the city with a strong focal point, layering local activities, the fishing industry, and tourism in Mutra, sympathetically uniting the old and new. The design introduces a new landmark on the waterfront along the lively corniche in Mutra. For centuries, a fine balance has existed between the Wadi and the people of Muscat, between natural processes and human intervention. In recent decades, city development has contributed to the visual and physical deterioration of the Wadi. If a sustainable future for the city is to be realized, the current state of the Wadi needs to be reversed, and the function and importance of the Wadi as a natural and cultural resource needs to be encouraged, not only as an important flood drainage system, but also as city landmarks and for the public amenity potential. Wadi Adai is the main Wadi of Muscat, and also the largest. In the near future, the Wadi will be controlled by dams and dikes, and will interact with suburban Muscat. This area of Muscat is under transformation into a regenerated urban center. By introducing a new recreational network with the Muscat Wadi Parks, we create unique, uninterrupted public space connections between the mountains and the sea. To encourage use of the Wadi and to enhance the public awareness, our proposal introduces highly visible gateways and attractors throughout the urban Wadi. These take the form of prominently lit pedestrian bridges, pedestrian promenades and cycleways, and introduce landscape features such as vegetation islands to re-establish natural Wadi bed vegetation and provide attractive spaces. The shading canopy on the bridge creates an atmosphere of walking beneath a vegetative promenade. During the night, the canopy emits light via energy that has been collected during the day by solar cells. The light on the bridge becomes inverted at night, as the area previously shaded by the canopy is lit from above by lights fitted in the shading canopy. The Wadi Adai pedestrian bridge will be one of the most significant elements in Muscat's new urban identity. The vegetable market of Al Kuwait is located near Said bin Taimur Mosque. The bridge crossing through Al Kuwait represents a barrier to pedestrians. We recommend strengthening the pedestrian crossings in this area where cars currently are dominant. The vegetable market is organized with a centralized marketplace intersected by a pedestrian axis. To the north, the axis connects to the surrounding shops. To the south, the axis cuts through the neighboring park and continues, connecting with Said bin Taimur Mosque. Embracing the market is a ring of solid building blocks that accommodate the acclimatized shops at street level and potential commercial and residential spaces in the stories above. The concept of the shading canopy refers to a leaf canopy, a play of light and shadow transforming throughout the day, glowing as a beacon in the evening, pinpointing the market as the heart of Al Kuwait. With Wadi Bosher, we have defined a general strategy to focus on the protection of natural and historical qualities to be preserved in a sustainable development for the future generations of Muscat. At the foot of the mountains, the least urban but most breathtaking setting for the Wadi is found. Wadi Bosher still represents the link between natural processes and human intervention in the Wadi landscape of Muscat. It is important to recognize the Wadi as a natural structure within the urban structure of Muscat when considering the future planning processes for Wadi Bosher. Along the course of the Wadi, numerous urban plazas, public gardens, and offlage could be redeveloped as points of interest, connecting with the pedestrian trails and cycleways. Beit al-Maqam is a historical building. The new museum that is being established as a renovation process will be an important point of interest in Muscat. It will also represent the starting point of the mountain-to-sea bicycle path. The main focus in the Oasis area is the introduction of a new public plaza and garden connected to the museum, together with the bicycle path and the walking trail located in the Wadi. A path along the new wall will define the edge between the village and the Wadi and provide a connection to the walking trails in the Wadi. Additional heritage sites and buildings adjacent to Wadi should be preserved and utilized to exhibit Oman's rich cultural history. Bosher Fort is an abandoned historical heritage site. The suggested bicycle path will provide a connection between the Wadi and the site, and is understood as a strategy to inform the younger generation about the historical building technique. Moving towards the city, the Wadi parks interconnect with more outdoor public recreational spaces, linked through extensive cycleways and pedestrian trails. The natural, open landscape with sand dunes must be preserved. The added elements consist of the 2 parallel continuous bicycle paths and walking trails along with shading plants and some connections from surrounding residential areas onto the Wadi. Light becomes an important design feature in the cooler hours of the night, providing safe access and attractive ambiance to the Wadi parks. The dunes represent an attractive recreational site for motocross, as well as hiking along the ridges to get a scenic view of the city. Closer to the sea, the Wadi is surrounded by housing, offices, and retail. This calls for a gradually greener and more developed park with space for different activities. The end of the Wadi, the beach, presently the primary recreational space of Muscat, is interconnected to the urban fabric through the Wadi parks. Architecture cannot be contained by rules of order. Instead, it must accommodate the restless mind of the human society. It must accept associations developed by larger numbers of characters, beyond the discipline of the architect.